Hi, welcome back. For those of you who have not seen, this is actually kind of a part two of the Getting to Know Me video. My first one on this channel was yesterday, and I know it was long, but we had a lot to talk about, and just really wanted you to get to know me, see where I was coming from, see if this is the type of channel you'd like to continue watching, because I will implement little stories like that. I think a lot of us from the generations, you know, it helps to teach, I feel like reminds the ones of our generation of things that we miss, and also teach the newer generations, because like I had said in my other video, it takes a village and we're looking for our own tribe. So tonight's video is not going to be that long. I've got two things that I'm doing for you guys today. One is pickled onions, and the other one is putting together the potato salad, because all I did last night after I ate was clean up, put all my stuff away, and had it set up for today to make it. But right now, these are pickled onions, and I just had chopped up or sliced up the onions. You can make them as thick as you want or as thin as you want. It doesn't matter, I've got some poblano peppers from last night. I got a few cloves of garlic. There is a little bit of turmeric in here. And I've also, in here, you can't see it very well, but there is some sweet peppers. Just a few, because I put all the peppers together in one container. And so it's fine. I like pickled onions and peppers and stuff like that. So what I did in this pot is there you go. I've got peppercorns, and I just put whole peppers in there. I use some of this vinegar. I got this from Fresh Thyme. Any vinegar you can use, it doesn't matter. I also put rice vinegar in it also, because rice vinegar has a milder, sweeter taste to it. And then I added water, and I literally just heated it up till it came to a slow simmer, because you do want your vinegar to be warm to make this and to make beets, from what I'm understanding. This is my first time doing the onions this way. I've never made pickled onions before. I always make pickled greens, and the process is Laotian culture, and that's how I learned, because I was raised by a Laotian family. My dad, who raised me, he was Lao, and that's how we did things, and I love him for that. He taught me so much, and his family, cousins, uncles, grandfather and stuff, they all, taught us. So what we're going to do now is we got everything into the mason jar. We, hopefully not spilling it, we're going to just pour it in, and hopefully I've got enough water to fill it all the way up to the top. There we go. So if you could see this, I am leaving a little bit of a gap between the liquid and here, because I like to use this. It's just a glass weight, and it just helps press it down. Let's see. And what I will do is I will seal it up, and I will let it stay out on the counter for about 24 to 48 hours. And then I will put it in the refrigerator, and it'll be ready. So if you do think that you need to add more water, add more water. You're not going to hurt it, because both types of vinegar is what's going to preserve it and pickle it and everything. You can add sugar to it if you want to. That is completely up to you. It's not the sugar that preserves the onions. It's actually the vinegar. But some people like their pickled onions to be a little bit more sweeter. So it's really just a preference. You can experiment and find out what you like for you. You know, just like you don't have to add the peppers and the garlic and all that. You can just do onions. You know, it's however you want to do it. But that one is done. We're going to set this to the side. So tonight we are going to be making and putting together the potato salad. The other video, I didn't know how I was going to do, if I was going to use mayonnaise or if I was not going to use mayonnaise. I have made a decision and I am not using mayonnaise. And I watched a YouTube channel that I'm subscribed to, and it's called Well Your World. And I got his dressing recipe to use that. So last night I had soaked some raw cashews. You can soak them out overnight, or you can, if you need them quicker, just take some, boiling water, real hot water. I have a hot pot over here. And so I just put it on 160 degrees, got it up to that temp, put it in a bowl, and then this will swell up to almost double the size. And they're moist. The oils have breaking out of it and everything. Bear with me. I'm still learning, as you can see. So we pre-soaked the raw cashews, and they have doubled up in size. And I just kept them in the refrigerator overnight until I was ready to use them today. We're gonna mix this up on the NutriBullet. This is my new cup that I have. And to this, we are going to add a half cup of water. Get my measuring cup here. Actually, since his recipe says to use a half cup of cashews, I'm going to use almost a cup full of water in here, because since they have doubled up, and plus any extra dressing that you have left over, you can also use it like on your salad or make some more potato salad or whatever. You know, it keeps for a while in the refrigerator, so you don't have to worry about I made too much. It's okay. So to this, we added the cashews, the water. Now we are going to add 3 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice. If you do not have freshly squeezed lemon juice, that is okay too. You can use concentrate. 1, 2, 3. Now, after you mix this up, taste it. You might want to add a little bit more lemon juice to it. You know, whatever your preference is. It's all on your taste. Okay? Next, we are going to add mustard. I love mustard, right? I told you the story last night about my mother making mustard, potato salad. And she never used to put mustard in it. I'm the one in the family that started implementing mustard into the potato salad because I thought hers was too dry for my taste. And that was my workaround. So, all right. We got the 2 tablespoons of mustard in there. Lastly, as far as liquids, we're going to add a little bit of vinegar. I'm choosing to use rice vinegar. And I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of that in here. This little gadget's handy. All right. So The last thing we need to add to this for his recipe is some cloves of garlic. He is calling for 2 to 4 cloves of garlic. I think he says 2 to 4 because that's dependent on how big your garlic pieces are and how strong of a flavor you want. So this is 4 normal size for up here. They're not elephant garlic. It looks like more than that. It's just because they just split in half. But just put that in there. And then we should have all the ingredients in here. Oh, no, I forgot dill. Now, if you're using fresh dill, don't put your dill in yet. If you're using dry dill, like what I have, go ahead. It's okay. You can put it in. He is calling for, he says like a good handful, but he was dealing with fresh. And he did say that if you're doing dry, just do a lighter amount because the dry is more potent than the fresh. So I'm only going to do probably, I don't know if you can see that. That's probably about a half teaspoon, a heavy half teaspoon probably. So now that we've got those together, we're just gonna grind this up, and I'm gonna pause you so you don't have to suffer through. All right, well, it came out pretty good. It's white, the consistency that I want. Now it is cashew. It will thicken up a little bit over time, but that's fine. You can, if it's kind of like cake batter, pancake batter kind of consistency. So for me, that's good. It's going to stick to these potatoes and the vegetables really well. So I've already chopped these potatoes up, left the skin on, just bite-sized pieces like you would have. This is only 5 of the red potatoes, so they are, you know, smaller. And this right here is a mix of some red onions, white onions, poblano peppers, and sweet peppers. There is a little bit, like a 1/4 teaspoon of chopped up turmeric in here. Like I said, just a little bit. There's no garlic in here, but the garlic is in the dressing. So I will just sprinkle this over. If I had celery, I would add the celery, but I don't have it. But next time I will have celery, because I'm sure there will be a next time. I will add probably a little sprinkle of dill after I put the dressing on and toss it. You do want to be careful about mixing up your dressing because the potatoes are fragile. I didn't even add half of that, and I'm just going to fold this over, okay? And that's all you do is just gently fold it over, and you're really just wanting to coat everything. Now, cashews still have fat in it, but it also has good omegas for you. And since my diet right now is not consisting of any egg or dairy, I am opting to go this way. You do not have to. But I do appreciate you coming along for the ride. So we got this made, and let me find a fork. Here we go. Tasting along the way is something every cook should do. I like it. I don't need to add any more mustard, but I am going to add a dash of paprika, because everybody knows paprika belongs on potato salad. And just a pinch And a pinch is a pinch of dried dill on top. Because like I said, in the dry state, it's very strong. If you had fresh, it would look better and you can use more. But you use what you got. Everything's fine. Now for my taste, I know that I will add salt to this, but I'm not going to add salt right now because salt will absorb in. So I use that as a finisher once it's on my plate and I'm ready to eat it. That keeps my salt intake down. And another thing that you can use if you don't want to use salt is hot sauce. I have two kinds of hot sauce. I have Louisiana hot sauce by Crystal, and I also have sriracha. Sriracha does have there are different types of sriracha. I recommend getting the one with the chicken, okay? You can pick it up at Walmart, Kroger, Publix. Most of them have this. It's not very expensive. Do not leave this in the car or around hot temperatures for very long. This is fermented. I'm telling you this story because in my truck, I used to be a semi driver. I still have a semi, but I used to be over the road. I had this in my pantry in the back of my semi, and I went to go get it one day, and it's this exact same kind of bottle. It's a little twisty and stuff, right? And I go to open it up, and sriracha just went everywhere. What had happened was, since it was closed up and it was in that heat, it had, gotten gas, and it had to release itself. And when I opened it up, twisted that up, it went everywhere. That was a lesson learned for me. And of course, my semi, I had to clean it up for sure. Yes, I used to be an owner-operator, truck driver, over the road, and throughout my 29 years of driving, I also have been company driver. Like them both. Learned a lot from both. Last night, we were talking about CNN, and I had said that CNN was the first channel to be 24 hours back in our day, and it was. I had talked about a lady on another channel, and I couldn't remember her name, so I had to call my husband, and I'll be like, hey, I need to use your brain. That's my word for him when I need him to have that Sheldon brain. He's really good with movies and music and sports and stuff like that, so he's my go-to person. He's sometimes even quicker than Google. But the name of the lady, I'm looking at my notes over here, is Elvira, the Mistress of the Dark. She was the host. She was very sarcastic, and she used to host like scary movies, horror movies, stuff like that. She's still alive. She's still alive today. Beautiful, beautiful woman. But we loved her because she is like our generation. She's sarcastic. She has no filter on her, and that's what made her so popular. That's why we loved her, is because she was part of our tribe. We loved her for that. But back to CNN. So Ted Turner, he passed away recently. And so it got us thinking about, CNN and stuff like that. And my husband reminded me that back then, there was a little girl, we called her Baby Jessica. And since CNN was 24 hours, they covered it 24 hours. And she made it out. Okay, just so I don't want to, get anybody like, oh my goodness, what happened? No, the baby fell down into the well. Nobody could get her. It took like 3 or 4 days, right? It was back in the late 80s was it late 80s? I think it was around like 1988 is when it happened. And so the world was watching, because this is, like I said, this is the introduction to 24-hour news. We didn't have any other TV stations that were 24 hours. Everything by then, you know, some of them were coming up, but they weren't a news channel. You know, they were like Elvira and stuff like that. So we were all watching 24 hours a day what's going on with baby Jessica. It took, like I said, 3 to 4 days. They had to wind up building a shaft, basically digging another long hole and shoring it up all the way down beside where she was. And then they cut through and they were able to get her and bring her back up the other way. It was an astonishing thing. We just, yeah, we were so happy, as you can just imagine. But that was like big news back then, and that was a first for us because we didn't have YouTube. We didn't have the internet like what we have today. We were just coming into the age. Apple was just getting started. Internet was still dial-up, you know, if for the ones who did have it. And we vlogged. Well, I don't know what we called it. It wasn't blogs, yeah. Basically, like, I don't know how you, like, it was a way that everybody could see, and we went to this one place and we were able to, you know, find each other. It was the very early stages of what we have today. So we do appreciate our technology for the good and the bad of it. It did bring our world together. So now we can all see what's going on. And hence now we have YouTube, and that is its own little beast, and I am very grateful for it. So what else was happening during that time with CNN? Back in 1991, the Gulf War had started, and I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe it was 1991. We were able to watch all of that come out, and again, it was CNN. They gained their strength and their popularity through shows, or not shows, but through showing us things like Baby Jessica, things like the Gulf War, you know, and we became to respect CNN for how they were, you know, delivering that to us. So CNN does deserve a lot of credit. Ted Turner was the one who, you know, had the money and had the idea, and he had a lot of fight. You know, people didn't want him to do it back then, I guess. So, but it has made us more open to everything now. So don't take it for granted for the things that we have today from the people of yesterday, because they're the ones who gave us what we have today. But my potato salad is done. This will be probably at least 2 servings, if not 3. I have a watermelon that I have not cut up yet with my small little knife. I'm going to work on that after this video and get that prepped up. I'm going to put the rest of my dressing away, and I will find something else to use that for. But I just want to thank everybody for being with me. And I have tech stuff coming. I have tripods coming. I have lighting coming. Not much lighting, but I have things coming, you know. So my channel will get better. I promise you. We all have to start from somewhere. I am trying to get used to talking to people on the camera. As you can see, I do like to talk. I also want to know, of what you've seen of me, are you interested in talking and cooking, the stories and the cooking and stuff like that? I do have another channel that is an old channel, and I'm reviving it by doing mainly reviews on it. But this channel, it will have some reviews, but it's mainly going to be gardening, cooking, and stories. Hence, seeds, soil, and stories, you know. My husband will be making an appearance or two. I've already warned him. We are sarcastic. If you like that, well, stick around, because we're only going to get better. We're only going to get stronger, and we are a tribe together, and let's be the village.